Hey there, soccer fans, and welcome into Royal Oak High School Stadium in the heart of Oakland County. Got a good one for you tonight as Oakland County Football Club welcome in MDA, Michigan Development Academy Lions, a rematch of a game from just last Saturday. And if last Saturday's game is any indication, we're in for a treat tonight. My name's Mitch Gatzke, joined by my broadcast partner, Robert Kerr. How are you tonight, Rob?
I'm doing pretty good. A little bit of a change of chairs for the second in this doubleheader. It's been a beautiful day here in Royal Oak. Sun is shining, blue skies, and we have another 90 minutes ahead of us.
Yeah, the first 90 minutes of the afternoon went County's way. That the USL2 side getting a 4-1 win over visiting AFC Ann Arbor. And the two team here tonight will look to continue their good run of form to start the season. 2-0 coming into tonight. And looking to push it to 3-0. Coming off of last Saturday's win in West Bloomfield, I guess it was, against these MDA Lions. It was a tight contest for quite a bit of the duration of the match. A whole lot of rain fell. Rob, you and I were standing out there in the stands. It was high-level football. I'm very curious to see how these two teams match up with one another, having just played 8 days ago.
Yeah, a local rivalry in the making, perhaps. The game got a bit chippy. Lots of voices expressing themselves. The competitiveness was very high, and it was a moment of magic on both ends for County's second team that made the difference. Alex Rosine not in the lineup tonight, but he clanked one in off the post for the winner. And then goalkeeper Jack Franklin made a couple huge late saves to secure that 3 points just last weekend.
Yeah, we'll give you a little hint of the starting lineup here tonight. Jack Franklin, aforementioned keeper, will actually start on the bench in between the pipes to start us off here tonight. Number one, Quentin Ubaidi.
Longtime County guy.
Longtime County guy. He's getting some more time on the two team, and that's a theme that we'll talk more about as the evening develops, Rob. But it is so nice to have a second team available for these players who deserve minutes to get a little bit more playing time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of familiar faces that were peripheral around the edges of the USL2 team, mainstays here and getting the time that they deserve, and I think it'll prove fruitful over the long term.
We are underway here at Royal Oak High School Stadium. Some Midwest Premier League action. Oakland County FC 2 versus MDA Lions. Long ball here from the Lions, looking to stretch the County defense. Will roll into touch.
Another great aspect of this two team is the league they play in, Midwest Premier League. Great level and also hyper localized, so the burden of travel not too great for these guys or the club. I mean, we're playing against teams like Michigan Jaguars, FC Pontiac, this opponent tonight, MDA from the area as well, Dearborn for Cedars FC, Toledo Villa, and then Futsal Factory out in Dexter, and then Legends FC in Brighton. So everything very much here in the southeastern Michigan. And then I guess touching the tip of Ohio a little bit down in Toledo. Yeah. But hyper-local, great experience for these players. And we'll see how they defend this.
Yeah, early set-piece opportunity here for MDA. That ball goes floating in and into the arms of Quentin Ubaidi, who comes out to collect in the bright orange there. He's going to lead things at the back. We mentioned he's got some experience up at the senior level with the USL2 side over the past couple of seasons. County in the all-purple here tonight. MDA Lions in the white. This ball in behind for Palushai as he's brought down, but
the referee looked right at that. I thought for sure he'd get the call. Maybe he's playing advantage, but that looked like a clear drag down.
County retains possession. And here's Palushai again. Chops one in. Shot attempt is weak and collected by the keeper, but good indications here from the boys in purple early on.
Yeah, it was number 17, Matthew Chimenti, getting on the end of that centering ball, but didn't get the full power behind it. But good to see County 2 get into the attacking 18-yard box here early.
There's a attempted ball in behind, will be whistled offside.
And this County side, this 2 team in a new custom kit for them, the all-purple from head to toe. A little bit of a different look for the 2 side. You'd love to see some new kits for County.
We'll get you those starting lineups as we can as play continues here. Whenever we get a break in the action, County looking to attack. Shot on goal, trickles into the back of the net. County on the board early. Just 3 minutes in.
And it looks like that was number 12, Mo Busla. Expertly finished. That was a lot of space for him to get into the box on that left-hand side. And pokes it past the goalkeeper, got a touch, but unable to keep it out of the back of the net. And that's an early lead here for County.
Early lead for County, and the polar opposite of what we saw in this afternoon's game against AFC Ann Arbor. The USL 2 team for County going down inside 3 minutes, and here taking a very early lead. That one just kind of snuck up on us as the shot looked like it could have been controlled by the keeper, but Ferran couldn't get enough of it to direct it outside of the goal. And a great start here for County and Mo Busla finding the back of the net.
For those just turning in, this is the home debut of Oakland County's 2 team in the Midwest Premier League, competing in the Great Lakes East Division. And this league a little bit more open in its roster rules, so we might see more variety of ages, both young and on the older side. The over 25 players capped. I think it's 4 in USL 2. No such requirements here. So teams like Cedars FC are a wide range of experienced and young players. And in the years past, they've been the team to beat in this division. And we're saving that game to the end of the season. So hopefully this 2 team will be in the running for a divisional championship. And it'll be a showdown at the end of the season against Cedars.
Yeah, hot start for both the senior and the 2 team here in Oakland County. No losses to speak of quite yet.
And may it be that way
for a long time. We'll hope it stays that way. Still settling in here. Opening minutes. Got MDA Lions visiting from nearby. Not sure exactly where they're based, but playing their home games over at Birmingham Groves.
Well, their origin story comes from purchasing Troy United. Troy United started by a school teacher and a group of young folks. As we look to the action here, as Diego Arce has poked away from him. And Troy United and the founding members of that team kind of like moving on in their stage of life. Didn't quite necessarily have the resources, time, or otherwise to continue it. And so they wanted the club to continue on, and the Michigan Development Academy, rebadging themselves of United FC, a youth club, and so MDA is a new entity, and then they absorbed the Troy United Midwest Premier League side. So Troy United by way of, and then they, like you said, they played at Groves last week.
And kudos to them for keeping the organization going. Call it what you will, but really comes down to the kids that are on the field and giving them an opportunity to take their game to the next level. However that comes about, that is the end goal. So kudos to the organizations coming together, finding a way to make that happen. And yeah, that game on Saturday was back and forth for sure. The rain on top of the turf, adding to the thrills and spills. We saw a beautiful goal from Alex Rosine, coming in off the right side onto his left foot, curled in a goal that pretty much iced it. The County went on to win 3-1. Yeah, Jack Franklin kind of all over the place there in that second half, protecting that lead.
Yeah, he had a kick save with his right foot that was pretty good, and then his right hand sprawled, got a hand on it to put around the post even later, an even better save to to keep that lead. It was a tight affair. It was great to get the win, but it was no easy feat. It's interesting that the fixture list puts them right back at each other, back-to-back games against each other.
Ball out of play will give us a couple of moments to rattle off some of the starting lineup. We've already talked about number 12, Mo Busla, the goal scorer. Number 19, Seba Pjatkovic. We've seen him at the senior level over the past couple of years as well. 26, Anthony Piacentini. As the ball turned over there, and County attempted clearance will roll out of play. 23, Christian Wilson. Number 10, Anthony Marinko. 18 is Olin Klump. 17, Matthew Chimenti. 20 is Diego Arce. 27, Joe Palushai. And number 9, J.P. Yatuma for those boys in purple tonight.
Got a few guys on the bench, too. Dave Tripon, that aforementioned goalkeeper Jack Franklin. We got Julian Gibbs, Luke Reedy, Maurice Muller, we saw a little bit of in the USL 2 game earlier, and then Seba Pjatkovic as well.
So again, these a couple of guys who've gotten some time for the Oakland County team at the USL 2 level, but really an opportunity this season with the 2 team for them to get some more time, improve their game, and really get a foothold, whereas before they were really just contributing and training. Here's an attack through Busla on that far side. Pass over to Yatuma, rolls out. Seem to have lost the ball boys and girls that were helping out with the first game.
Yeah, Coach Steve Arce looks to be having these guys in kind of a 4-4-2 formation, a little bit different than what Steve Walker had the first team playing in.
Which is interesting, right? You would wonder how much continuity there is. You'd think, you know, just assuming it would make sense to kind of run the same system, float it in here just over the head of Yatuma as he stretches to try to make contact with that cross.
Yatuma soared like a purple eagle through the box there, but unable to get ahead on it. Diego Arce, probably one of the players to watch here. He's definitely known to score a goal, but unfortunately had a penalty saved in that tilt last week.
It's pretty cool here to see the younger siblings getting involved as well.
Yeah, I've seen him for a while. I remember commentating on him in the State Cup when he was like a 10th grader. So
we're obviously very familiar with his older brother, Colin, having, what's his 4th year now with Oakland County?
Third, I think.
He's the captain. He wears number 10 in the armband. And
he's
really
definitely filling that
way.
Armband now.
Yeah, and his brother here taking some steps up at the 2 level. So it's a family affair for the Arces tonight. Turnover in midfield. MDA takes over. Pass inside. Worked around now to the outside. Quick pace, much like we saw in last Saturday's game.
That ball goes over the fence into the track and field and the American, the grass American football field over there. And without any ball kids for this second game, I don't know when that ball is coming back.
Plenty of balls over there. It's always a matter of how many of them are game ready, I guess. It's first doubleheader night for Oakland County.
This is a first for us, so we had to kind of scramble a little bit to get ready for this one, but it looks like it's all worked out.
It snuck up, right? You're thinking, oh, we got plenty of time in between, and then
not really.
Not as much. Good play there to break up play. Piacentini not allowing that to happen. Offside will be the call here.
Joe Paluja giving chase there, another guy who's been around the team for a number of years, and this team gives him an opportunity to get more consistent minutes.
And it's cool too, Rob, because these are guys that we've heard a lot of the coaches talk about. You know, they're obviously brilliant in training, but we haven't gotten to see a lot of them play in games. So to get this glimpse into kind of behind the curtain, if you will, of what's been going on behind the scenes and see the pipeline that County's now producing, it's really exciting stuff.
Yeah, it makes the path from Vardar to the County side a little clearer.
And that partnership becoming official this year with Vardar, it's always been something, that if you know how closely Oakland County and Vardar have worked together over the past couple of years, but now taking on an official capacity. MDA win back possession, and County seem content to let them have it for now. Two up top for County will give them the opportunity to apply a little pressure. This ball cut out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this Peluja-Arce combo as the front two forward. And Peluja went wide right there and
ended up in an offside position and just had to give up on the play as it rolls out for a goal kick. MDA restarted quickly. They really do want to play fast, keep the ball in play, use their speed and their energy. Saw a lot of that last week, and it's continued here, so it does seem to be by design. Just about 14 minutes in here. Oakland County grabbing the early 1-0 lead. Just 3 minutes in through Mo Bousla.
a good start, fast start, really tidy finish to get the early go-ahead goal here. This home opener for this Midwest Premier League OCFC 2 side.
10th season of Oakland County Football Club. Back here at Royal Oak for 4th season, 5th season. It's hard to remember. They tend to run together, but
I think 2022 was the return to Royal Oak season because there was one in USL 2 in Clawson after COVID delayed 2020.
But this is a inter-county matchup with some very local rivals in town. And you mentioned the hyper-local nature as this ball is floated in and all the way through, but collected on the backside by MDA. It cross in. It's bumbled around. Still with it. Can't get a shot on goal. The back flick, and the shot is saved by Ubaidi. It was a tame effort.
That was the first real moment of creativity for the visitors, and a clever little back heel opened up for a right-footed shot, but not enough power on that. Maybe not the cleanest contact, but definitely a real opening there for the visitors.
A lot of touches in the box, but good work by the county defenders not to allow for any openings. Too much contact there, and the whistle against Chimenti will be a free kick.
Shadows starting to stretch across the field here at Royal Oak High School Stadium as we get into the evening hours of what has been a beautiful Sunday. Completely different conditions than the reverse fixture last weekend at Groves. Was it Groves High School? And that was a kind of wet and cold, miserable weather affair. Obviously, it turned out to be a happy one with the winning performance, but couldn't ask for a more pleasant evening here in Southeast Michigan.
It's the beauty of this time of year. Things can change on you pretty quickly. Deep free kick here for Wilson. Pumps it up to midfield, and MDA back on the ball. Blue Shy applying a little pressure as MDA try to play out of the back. Turnover, Seba with a good step up.
There's Klump. What can he find?
Steve Walker, head coach for the USL 2 side, was praising Olin Klump just the other day at the charity match for the TST team before they headed down to Cary, North Carolina this past week. But we were talking to head coach Steve Walker last weekend, and he was saying Olin Klump is beyond his years, and just you wait until you see more of him, and he's sure to impress. Free kick here for County. Ball floated in. Header from Palushai over the bar.
Yeah, he got in behind that MDA defense. Part of that defense is number 5, Matt Rafferty. He's been around the area, battle-hardened local vet. Actually, I think I had a cup of coffee here with the men in purple.
I was going to say, that name did sound very familiar. And that, I think, is one of the situations that we don't have to face anymore where, hey, we love your game. We'd love to keep you around. We just don't have enough room for you on the USL2 side. So now we've got the MWPL side to kind of fill out the roster and really build that depth. Excellent job there. It'll be a corner for MDA, but Seba Piatkovic coming all the way over.
Yeah, MDA's number 2, Brian Baker, was really trying to split 2 different defenders there. I don't think he really came all that close to getting by him, but he did enough to win his team a corner. Quinton organizing his purple defenders here. Plenty in front of him.
Corner in. Rolls harmlessly through. Might have got some contact. Indeed it did, and it'll be a corner on the other side. In last week's game, it was number 7, Luke Nicholson here, who's trotting over to take the second corner in a row. He's got the captain's armband, and it's easy to see why. If you saw that game on Saturday, he was all over the place, scored the goal, and really just kind of administered the game from his midfield spot. He lines up what will be an outswinger here. Pumps it in. It's in a good spot. Good contact. It was headed goalward, but cleared.
Rafferty made a big leap for that, unable to get contact, though.
Back into the box. Couple of attempts. Good block there. Prevent the cross from getting in. Another corner here for MDA. Nicholson will trot back to the near side.
And as number 10, Anthony Marenko, putting his body on the line to make sure at multiple attempts that that ball was not centered into a dangerous area. And
couple of substitutions here, Rob. We should note that players' substitution rules are a little bit different in MWPL.
Yeah, it's college rules.
Players can re-enter the game.
Yeah, college rules in Midwest Premier League, which is an interesting note since there is overage players, but they're catering it to the college system.
It's 12 and 22 who have checked in. We'll see who exactly they are as Christian Wilson gets his head on that to pump it clear. A lot of contact on that far side. Linesman sticks up his flag thinking there was too much contact. That'll be whistled for a foul. 22 is Sal Thompson, brother of Luciano Thompson, who's also in there for MDA. And 12 is Clay Lafayette. So those two have entered the fray. Dangerous position here for a free kick from NDA, kind of in a similar corner position, just with a different angle. So we'll see how they attack this one.
At least the sun is behind the goalkeeper.
That one didn't get past the first defender. A little bit of head tennis. Wilson can't get on it. Now has to track back as MDA looking to keep it in. Nicholson could not. Goal kick.
You're just tuning in. This is Oakland County FC2's debut here at home at Royal Oak High School Stadium. And thanks to a third-minute Mo Busla goal, it brings us to 1-0 here in the first half of this tilt.
MDA, I think, having more of the possession since that opening goal. County's subsequent chances have really been more so on the counterattack.
County getting some love after their hot start, getting into the Midwest Premier League's power rankings already.
As well they should. It's been a strong start for these guys. A lot of excitement around this team. Again, some younger players who might not be familiar with quite yet, but we're expecting big things from a lot of the guys wearing purple this evening. Whether it be tonight, this season, over the next 5 years. It'll be fun to follow. Diego seems to be quite a bit bigger than Colin, his older brother. Long ball here, runs just out of the reach of Busla. But I'm impressed with Diego's stature, and maybe it's just the way he carries himself, but seems to be a little bigger than his older brother.
Yeah, he's been playing for his dad and at a high level for many years now, so they're very familiar. And he's definitely capable of popping up and being dangerous in front of goal.
This one's going to roll back to Beatty.
I don't think I see it from the Elmwood Elite, who have come back from the apparently the Elmwood Elite went over to Gus Snug after the USL2 game, and a few members back. And I was hoping to see, do you remember Q from Star Trek? Remember that character? I was hoping to see like a cardboard cutout of his head or something. If anyone remembers that old Star Trek character. We don't have too many Qs in the roster.
Turnover here. Palushai can get on the end of it, and a couple of defenders scrambling to get back. The pass for Arce just behind him.
Yeah, maybe wasn't able to set himself right to have the poise to place that back to Arce. Bit of a half chance there, goes begging.
Well done from Chimenti to keep possession. There's Christian Wilson through the middle. County looking confident on the ball. I think they've got a roster full of guys who they're confident in, and even in that bit of a hairy moment there from Piacentini, able to recover. Palushai looking for that ball in behind. It seems to be something they can return to. Chimenti, pass over just a little bit out of the reach of Klump. This one won't trouble the County defenders.
Piacentini looks pretty comfortable on the ball. I mean, he hasn't been put under a great deal of duress, but has that, poise you can see from a mile out.
Got a whistle here and a player down in the middle away from the ball.
Referee pointing at his head as if needs.
Didn't see what happened there. Maybe a coming together with one of the County players, but he's going to receive some treatment, and that will also give both sets of teams a chance for a mini timeout. We saw this in the game earlier today. It's not hot, but there is no rest from the sun. There's not a single cloud in the sky, so not a good day to be wearing dark colors, and that sun as you're playing on the turf really beating down on you. We know at field level it's always quite a bit hotter, so water break in both halves of the earlier game, and we're getting the same thing here this evening. So just an opportunity for Steve Arce to break things down for his team, kind of reset. He's got to like what he's seeing as we're just a little bit over halfway, edging to the 27-minute mark. Again, third-minute goal from Mo Busla has us at 1-0 County. Team looking to go 3-0 to start this season.
Yeah, it must be really hot down there on the surface of the pitch. All the players getting their hands into the cooler there and splashing themselves with the ice water, definitely getting their hands and their wrists and then splashing onto the top of their head. And In the game earlier in the day, I actually saw players dousing their feet with the cold water. I've heard
Interesting.
that the surface like this can get so hot that they feel the heat through their boots.
Interesting. It's a good bit of intel. Yeah, those rubber pellets underneath, we know they can certainly microwave themselves as they're baking in the sun all day. I really don't think that weather played too much of a factor in the game earlier, and I don't expect it to play much of a factor here today. I mean, if you're complaining, you're searching for something. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here in Oakland County, Michigan.
Yeah, if you see the flag on the pole is barely moving around whatsoever, it's pretty much dead. And Quickstead Park across the way, leaves aren't fluttering at all. And if anything, the sun might get in the eyes of some players going from right to left on the field once that sun gets a little bit lower. But beautiful day here in Royal Oak, Michigan.
Back underway here, County on the ball. Float-in attempt is broken up, but recollected. Chippy foul there. That was 22, Sal Thompson, the guilty party. Set piece opportunity here for County. They'll float one in. They've got quite a bit of size to target. Christian Wilson certainly comes to mind. Here's the attempt in. Flicked behind, and it'll be a corner. County's first of the evening.
Yeah, Christian Wilson, the aforementioned Christian Wilson, number 23, very tall and famously scored from a header on his very first touch in a County shirt. Very exciting memory. That was the highlight of the season that year. Was that 3 years ago?
Ball in here, finds its intended target in the header down, just not directed on frame. Ooh, golden opportunity goes begging there. It was 18, Olin Klump, who got the contact. I think maybe got up too early, just timing off a little bit.
I think that chance might have been easier than he thought when the ball came his way. Maybe was looking at the sun, might have been behind the ball there, as you see that the shadow right there. And he was definitely found himself in a great position to get the header on goal. There was no white shirts around him at all.
Here's a dangerous one in for MDA. Player on the near side collects, but chipped back out. County can settle things down. Trementi has done that a couple of times where he gets on the ball and just navigates his way around some defenders to give his teammates a couple of seconds to catch their breath. Checking into the midfield to get that ball is Klump. It's turned over. MDA now with some numbers and opportunities. Split defenders. County scrambling a bit. Watson's out of position. Far side now, the attack continues. Lots of contact.
And
Attacker
finally
goes
a whistle.
down. And it's the payback, the retribution that earns him the foul and the card. That'll be a yellow card awarded to number 22, Sal Thompson.
Come on, Sal.
He was a sub. He's had an active just a few minutes since he's checked in, but already found himself mixing it up. County with another deep free kick in their own territory. Try to blast this one up and switch field position. Another whistle here on the bench. Got a couple of subs for County, so that free kick will come back and be retaken as Diego Arce and Olin Klump come out. I believe that's Maurice Mueller in the middle with the red boots here. Indeed it is, number 29. And still checking to see who it is 13 on the top. That's David Tripin. Here's that free kick from County. Finds an MDA defender. It's been some good battles in the midfield here as that one's turned over and quickly County can counter.
Hooley pick. That's not the right one.
Through the middle of the pass, cut out, and now MDA right back the other way. Ooh, slid through. Here's Nicholson. Wants to get on that right foot. Does. But Watson blocks it. Well done.
Yeah, Piacentini did really well. He went to ground there and kind of blocked that shooting lane and put the MDA attacker off to help his teammates recover and get that dangerous situation under control.
A couple of center backs playing very active here tonight. They're not going to shy away from putting themselves in there to try to make a play. And on the near side here, Seba Pjatkowicz has also done a great job covering, as this one in behind will test Wilson, but he's got enough speed to just get himself in the way enough for Ubaidi to come out and scoop it up.
Yeah, Wilson, one of those players definitely benefiting from the addition of the two team. Great young player, only got to play a select few minutes the last couple seasons, so he's definitely been a mainstay here in this early goings of this Midwest Premier League season.
And he often changed the equation when he came into games last year. Turnover here will put him back to work, but County get it right back. Here's Palushai to chase. He's not going to have the speed. Ball rolled back here to the MDA keeper, Veron.
Yeah, I think County 2 midfield has to play it to Palushai's feet a little bit more. I don't think he's going to chase those ones down that are ahead of him or a through ball. He'd have to be very open. It seems like the Raffertys and the other MDA back liners kind of have been beating him to those balls.
He's not got the same blazing speed that we're used to a lot of the County attackers having. Quick substitution there for MDA. I believe it was 3 coming out of the game. That would be Will Lanham. Here's Chimenti. Back heel. County combining. Marinko, a player that we're excited about. Got to meet his parents, or his dad, last weekend.
Oh, yeah, we met him in the stands, didn't we, when we were cheering on the team in the cold and wet. Dedicated parent and supporter. Always love to meet new County folks.
Added some new members to the family.
Wilson gave him the eyes there.
Good floated ball in. That'll test the back line. Header had just enough on it to roll back to Veron.
Just enough.
Good throw through the middle. Chipped out.
It's Rafferty.
The County press is everywhere right now. The players are covering for each other exactly the way that they need to, so that anytime an MDA player gets on the ball, there's a County man in purple standing right in his face. Game has certainly settled in from a quick start. MDA like to play fast, and they did so in the first 10 minutes or so. But County were the ones who nosed themselves in front. Near side fight for it. Popped out. MDA will retain possession. We'll see if they have anyone who can hurl in a long throw. Seems they do.
Everyone's backing up into the 18-yard
They're
box.
setting up that way.
Does he have an arm cannon?
Here it goes. Not bad. In a dangerous area. County's going to have to deal with it. It's back out just outside the box. Settled down. Here's the attempt. Blocked. And it needed to be.
Yeah, goalkeeper Quentin Ubaidi definitely thankful for Christian Wilson and his teammate that were in front of him to block that down. He was exposed there for a moment. That ball floated into the top of the 6-yard box. And the visiting attacker able to turn on it, but defended well enough to get that away for a corner.
Great control by the attacker for MDA there. I think it was Nicholson who brought that down and was able to turn and actually get a shot away in a situation where it was difficult to do so. A couple of more substitutions for County ahead of this upcoming corner. It's Chimenti and Yatuma checking out. See, just by process of elimination, I think it's Julian Gibbs and Luke Reed. 16 and 11, there you go. So the rosters are accurate tonight, Rob.
Purple goodness.
Cross attempt here for MDA. Hot one. It's bouncing around. Who can get on it? Wilson got enough and drew a foul that will relieve the pressure.
That was another dangerous moment. Maybe a handball went unnoticed to control that one. That was fired into the 6-yard box, was knocked down, and it was there for the taking there for a moment. But Wilson able to dig in and then draw the foul to abate the threat. But there was definitely a moment of exposure there at the back.
Those moments of scramble in the box have to be nerve-wracking as a keeper.
That's 2 for Quentin Ubaidi, who's seen a player turn on the ball right in front of him on the doorstep.
Good flick on there from Palushai to spring his teammate. Now in behind, the crossover finds no one.
Yeah, that centering ball just a little bit too hot, too much ahead of the
Marinko
player.
cuts it out on top of the D, controls it, finds a teammate. Mueller passes over. Oh.
Yeah, that one just rolled off the toe of Seba Piatkowicz.
Gatkowicz trying to get fancy with the footwork.
But there was a nice combination there in that sequence before that, just that final ball was just a little bit off target. Could have been something nice for the purple interested, that is, at least.
Lots of space in the middle here. Shot attempt, and it's in. Another sneaky one past the keeper, and Varan is beaten for the second time. My goodness.
That fell kindly to him, and he took full advantage.
David Tripen.
The substitute hitting the back of the net here, and the visitors find themselves down 2.
He got
just
on the
before half.
got on the ball and was on top of the D and just kept on going, and nobody stopped him and got enough space to have his shot. Varan, I don't know. He was there.
Yeah, he maybe didn't get the right jump off. He kind of just didn't really get that extension on his dive. It had some pace on it, the shot, but you wouldn't necessarily classify that in the rocket category. But they all count the same, and the 2 team makes the smoke fly here in County for the second time tonight.
County 2, MDA Lions 0 as we near halftime. A couple of sneaky ones past the keeper here tonight, and County find themselves in a good position. 2-0 in the standings, 2-0 on the scoreboard for OCFC 2.
I want to give a shout out to Diversified Members Credit Union, the longtime title sponsor for Oakland County FC. It's your local credit union. Upgrade your life with Diversified Members Credit Union. Thank you for your support of Bleeding Purple all these years.
Kitchens, bathrooms, weddings, anything. that you got going on that can help make it happen.
Go to dmcu.com for more information.
MDA not been able to play out of the back really as well as they would have liked and as well as we saw them do last weekend. County press really been giving them some troubles here. Wilson, excuse me, has one to chase in behind.
Good battle there to win that. That MDA forward could well have taken that away from him, but he refused. You can just see those players that have that refuse to lose, that passion to defend, that just the refusal to be beaten. It's not in everybody, but Wilson's got that.
That's true. There are some guys that are legitimately excited to defend, and you can see it. See it from Wilson. We've seen it from Rocco Del Giudice on the USL2 side.
More defending to do, though.
Indeed, as MDA attacks down the right flank, Ubadi's going to half come out, but then have to retreat as Nicholson tracks this one down. He loses his footing. No foul. County a little bit lucky in that instance. Muller's going to slow this one down a little bit. Take a loop-de-loop. And back to Ubadi. Calling for it on the near side here is Seba. Little push there. We'll get a whistle.
Olin Klump whistled that time. I'm not sure how old number 29 Maurice Muller is, but we've seen him in bit part appearances for both the first and this second team, and seems cool, calm, and composed every time he's asked to take part.
Big boot in here is trouble. Head on it from County. A couple of more, but this still troubling, and the penalty is called. Too much contact with the feet.
And Christian Wilson looks to be reeling from that 50-50 header duel just before that foul occurred, and an opportunity for MDA to get back into this before the halftime break.
And this would have been exactly what they wanted. Just make something scrappy happen here. Try to claw one back before halftime. We've got just 30 seconds of the opening 45 remaining. And stepping up to take this one, I believe, is Nicholson. We'll see if they switch, but I can't imagine that they will.
What can Big Q do here, facing down Nicholson?
All eyes on Quentin Ubadi. Nicholson sends him the wrong way, tucks it in, and it's 2-1 just before halftime.
Yeah, right on the stroke of halftime as the clock stops at 45 minutes. The visitors get right back into this, and we saw in the earlier game a goal before the break means all the difference, and that team talk in the Lions locker room changes significantly now.
It really does. It changes the equation and changes how you go about breaking things down for the boys at the break. Very curious to see how both teams will come out. Nicholson pokes this one away, and all of a sudden, MDA with a chance to equalize before half. He's pushed off of it, though, goes tumbling out of play. The ball rolling out for a goal kick. Nicholson asking maybe for another penalty call there.
Piacentini giving him the full physicality that he could offer and ruled legally. Nicholson with a little bit of a what the HE double hockey sticks, but it looked firm but fair.
Not too many whistles, fouls, stoppages here. It's been a pretty clean game, which is interesting because it seemed like both teams were going at each other last weekend, Rob. Belushi with a chance now. Keeper Varan had to come charging out to make sure that Belushi didn't have a one-on-none opportunity. Deep throw here for County.
Yeah, Varesh had to get that just right in the visitors' goal as County attacker was going to be
Gonna
one
go
on one.
is Palushai. Another save. Not sure if it was the defender or the keeper exactly, but ball popped up and whistled here against County.
I don't agree with that whistle there from our center referee. The MDA defender went over the top of the County attacker. It didn't look like he undercut him by any means. He looked like he got jumped on and then was whistled for it. I don't agree with that call, but closest County have come to a third so far. Palushai denied.
Palushai has certainly been the focus up top. Things working through him. Can't be too much farther away from the halftime whistle here. MDA maybe with one more opportunity. Nice spin move there. Ball goes in but hits side netting. Must have got a deflection from County on the way. MDA will take another corner. Nicholson, the puppet master, really has his hands all over these last 5 or so minutes. Blasts this one in. There's contact. Referee will blow. Content to let this go into the halftime break. 2-1 as it stands. Oakland County FC 2 enjoying a halftime lead over MDA Lions. Rob, we're going to step away for some breaks here and come on back here in just a few moments to catch up on all the first half action, get you ready for the second half here at Royal Oak High School Stadium and this special presentation of Oakland County Football Club. Hey there, soccer fans, and welcome back into Royal Oak High School Stadium in the heart of Oakland County. As it stands right now, Oakland County Football Club 2 leading MDA Lions 2-1. As we get ready for the second half of action here, referee just about to blow his whistle. There we go. 45 more minutes here as the OCFC 2 squad look to advance to 3-0 here in the Midwest Premier League. Rematch tonight of a game from just last Saturday. And so far in that first 45, kind of like what you've seen from County, really just one defensive error, allowing for the penalty just before the halftime whistle to make it 2-1 as MDA attacked for the first time down the far side. And good defensive work there to make sure that ball rolled out for a goal kick.
That first half, a little bit of a mirror image of what the USL2 team did, but in inverse, County's USL2 team went down a goal very early and then tied right before the break. And the inverse has happened here to a degree. I guess County's got 2, so they still come in with the lead, but they don't want that that goal from MDA to give them too much confidence, because one goal and we're all even, obviously.
And there haven't been too many chances for County, but those that they've gotten, they've capitalized on.
Yeah, a couple tidy finishes from the boys in purple. Nice turn there by Muller. Like I said, don't know a great deal about the that German midfielder, but he's popped up for both the first and the second team and looks very cool, calm, and composed on the ball. He held his own in the TST charity send-off game last weekend as well.
It was Mo Busla who got the scoring started just 3 minutes in for County. And David Tripon added the second here on the near side.
And it's number 11, Julian Gibbs, trying to attack into that from that left side.
Yeah, Gibbs just not finding the space that he needed, crowded out. Eventually gives away a free kick. A couple of whistles both ways here in the early going of the second half here in beautiful Royal Oak. Rob, stepping out of the press box during the halftime break, I will say the sun is going down and that wind is picking up a little bit.
Yeah, the flag has got a little bit of extension to it. It was dangling on the side of the pole in the first half.
I won't say that it's chilly, but it's certainly not the same sweaty afternoon that it was.
Here's Christian Wilson
really liked what I saw from Wilson in the first half. This ball in from Marinko.
Gibbs gets there.
Brilliant work by Gibbs to get there just before the end line, keeping it in and earning County their first corner of this second half.
Number 15, Jake Sweet for MDA was lurking and able to put that behind as Gibbs cut down the baseline towards goal. And who is the designated corner taker here? Looks like it's number 16 for County 2, Luke Reed, taking on the dispatch duties for County 2.
We'll see what Reed can offer. Seems like maybe headed for the far post.
There's a whole clump of purple. Try to put it back in the mix there.
Yeah, that was the idea, but couldn't find a teammate on the header attempt. MDA looking to spring forward, but excellent job there holding things up, not allowing them to do so. Long throw down that far side, headed out for another one. Really solid work from all four members of the back line of Oakland County in that first half. Really, again, just that one rash challenge inside the penalty area. Created that lone opportunity, really, for MDA. Outside of that, there wasn't a whole lot. Ubedi made a couple of routine saves that I don't think you would say troubled him. For the most part, County controlled that first half, and just in that one moment, letting things slip away has opened the door back up for MDA. Long throw in here. Gets over the head of Mueller, but doesn't find a lion. That low ball in, controlled by Wilson. Well done with the chest. I think you mentioned it in the first half, Rob. He does seem comfortable.
He sure does. He's got some comfort on the ball. He believes in himself clearly. He's shown that veracity of unwilling to be beat at the back. And we saw him have to stretch his legs as MGA did get behind him at one moment, but he was able to get his body in the way and allow Ubedi to get to the ball.
That's true. I guess now that you mention it, the best save of the first half for County was really from Wilson, not from Ubedi, as he ranged back in that instance. Quick turnover here gives them an opportunity. It's Tripen, but cut out and recycled back to the MDA keeper. It's Maurice Mueller putting a little pressure on the big man, 29.
County have to be careful here.
Two-handed shove will earn a whistle. There's a bit of a protest from a couple of the MDA players, but I don't think realistically they can be too upset with that one.
Yeah, and he actually I don't think he needed to put his hands on the County defender either. It looked like he had the beating of the big number 26 at the back, Pia Santini. And but he does extend his arm, put Pia Santini on the deck, and squashed that attacking threat.
Ubedi's actually going to take this free kick, but go short with it, just to get the ball back in play. Shifting MDA.
There's a lot of initials out there, Mitch. Don't worry about it.
Good cut inside. Good motion on the ball, and the chip pass in behind. Maybe
good for 3 and out into the trees. Almost went out to the road, Normandy out there.
Attempt at glory there, I don't think was the best move, but sometimes you just have a chance. And
he had a step on him. He was in a little bit of space, rushing into the 18-yard box. Not an easy moment, but they come off. If that shot comes off and gets it on net, no one's going to question the decision to take aim and fire.
Wilson.
Nice pass.
Lions back here with the ball. Excellent job there to stand his ground. carrying forward as well and finds a teammate. And here's Tripen on the near side, running at defenders into the box, takes it far.
No one made the run.
No one made the run. He didn't have the support that he needed when he was looking for it. And in the end, not much happening there for County.
A lot of hand wrestling over there on the far side. Let's see what the ref does here.
A little pushing and shoving. And I wonder, too, if the officials for tonight's game would have seen anything from last week. You know, do they have the context of these teams having just played and knowing how that game was played, the intensity?
Yeah, how tight is the local soccer referee union that the referees from last week talked to the ones today? So they are aware. We're getting a nod from our referee assessor in the press box that they definitely had a conversation, and they'll know that there was a lot of talking and squawking last week.
There was a lot of conversation after a penalty call. MDA Lions. They took issue with that penalty call, and it was a 3-minute conversation. Here's a chance here for County that's going to roll into the back of the net.
And that one just really snuck in under the foot of Tommy Varesh in the MDA goal. What a feed and finish. County 2 extend their lead. 3-1 now.
It's Julian Gibbs.
He's been threatening from that left side since the second half started. Finally paid off. He squared a ball earlier. Then no one followed up and made the front post run, but there he gets fed a little looper into the box and he's able to tuck it home.
And all 3 goals scored for County in a similar vein where they just...
Purple smoke is a fly-in here. Kudos to the Elmwood Elite who made their way back from Gus Snug. That takes some firm decision-making and some will to come back to the pitch after going to the bar.
Our first doubleheader ever, so some dedicated supporters, without question, cheering on the OCFC 2 side here this evening. Now up 3-1, 55 and a half minutes played. This one's going to roll all the way into the middle, but Wilson again.
Right place in the right time for Wilson. Definitely has a leadership aura in this team. He's been around this county program for quite some time now. This shows.
He's done that a couple of times, stepping up to make challenges and shot opportunities. Scramble here, another good turn. He's done that a couple of times. Cut back in, but too many County defenders. Oh, he's back on it again. Nifty footwork, still on the ball. My goodness.
What a mazy run from Sal Thompson. He got a yellow card in the first half, but he showed a little bit of slalom skills hitting the slopes here in the second. County couldn't take it away from him every single opportunity. A couple, 2, 3, 4 times it looked like the helping defender had the situation under control and he zigzagged away from him, but thankfully there was a defender at the end to prevent a threatening shot.
Yeah, it was Pia Santini who finally came across to clean that up. But you're absolutely right. It was 3-4 County defenders attempting to remove the ball from the danger zone. We'll see here what Nicholson can produce from the corner. It's right in the middle and it's in.
Wide open header.
Doesn't get much better than that from an execution standpoint from a corner. County defenders allowing for way too much space.
So the man who won the corner, Sal Thompson, the one that nods it home.
Indeed, busy evening for Sal Thompson. Didn't get the start, but has come in, gotten a yellow, set up that corner, scored it. 3-2 County now. 57 and a half minutes played.
It'll be an interesting half an hour plus here, Mitch. Curious to see how this all plays out. Next goal if there is to be one, is a big one.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rob, I don't think that 3 goals is going to win it tonight.
You're saying that there's a goal,
There's a
a
goal.
piece in the mix?
Well, there's a goal or 2 left, I think. Who gets them will be determined on the field. It was a late kick away. That might be a yellow card. It will indeed.
That MDA player definitely came in trying to play defense against the yellow card, unable to go with that. That's a technique that doesn't often pay off, but number 8 getting the yellow card.
Connor Henson, I think.
Yeah.
But the opportunity here for a free kick, a pretty good spot. Lining up over it is Anthony Marinko. We'll see what he does. Floated in toward the back, looking for head wearing purple. County's going to get it, recycle it over here to Wilson. Shot on goal skewed badly. Actually ended up being a pretty good pass to the far side there. Throw in coming up here for County. That was nicely done there by Piacentini. Knew he didn't need to play that ball, just had to get in between the MDA Lion, trying to make the play and get forward. Referee a little bit in the way, but navigating through was Gibbs until he's taken off the ball. I think maybe he tried to spring.
I'm curious if we're going to get to see any more from Diego Arce, number 20 in purple. He scored in the opening 2 matches for County 2, but every time he's got himself into a good position, hasn't been able to quite get on the end of the ball. We'll see if he has a moment to impact this game.
Coming back the other way now. Chased into the corner, strong play, but it will get a whistle. That was Adrian Shaya who earned that free kick. Again, kind of similar to a corner position.
Got subs on the touchline warming up for both sides here, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see some subs here in the next 5 minutes or so.
I think it is time to switch things up here. It's gotten a little chaotic in the last few minutes. Both teams scoring here in the second half. We went into the break 2-1, now 3-2. Ubaidi gets a fist to it. Well done.
He had to soar for that one. Sun in his eyes and all.
You could see him scramble to take a couple extra steps to get the depth that he needed to flick that fist up. Throw in here, gets past the defenders. Attempt at goal here is going to sail over top of the net. But must have flicked off the boot of a County player. It's going to be another corner.
Yeah, I didn't see the deflection there, Mitch, but the referee seemed pretty confident about it. It was well above the County goal frame, but plenty of purple shirts in here to defend. Let's see what MDA has here from the corner.
Nicholson again, back post this time. It's knocked down and cleared out. The County defenders. That was maybe Piacentini. Lofting back the other way, but Wilson breaks that up. Here's Gibbs now in for Tripen. Tripen sizing up the defender, cuts into his right. Over to Arce. But it's going to be a red card.
And that MDA player shouldn't have gotten in the mix there. He should get a card for grabbing him up like that. Number 11, Julian Gibbs, one of the standout players of the second half, getting the red card. We saw a lot of cards last week, and it looks like we're going to do something similar here today.
I did not see what happened there as I was watching the rest of the play, but must have been something pretty reckless to have earned the straight red away from the ball. And yeah, a couple of the MDA players did not like what happened there.
Yeah, there's something behind the play. The ball went central and the attacking process got stopped, but behind the ball, we'll see right here. Oh, just kind of stuck his leg out and dangled. It doesn't look like anything that was going to hurt anybody. Definitely an unnecessarily foul. He stuck his leg out, but a red card seems like a huge overreaction to the contact that actually happened.
It was completely unnecessary for sure, away from the ball and just not an action related to the game. But yeah, I think maybe a bit of overreaction there. Yellow, certainly red. Don't know. So County going to have to adjust strategy here, down to 10 men. Still have.
There was a yellow in that follow-up in that the afters. Sorry, Mitch. Interrupt. Number 9, yellow card there.
Still about 25 minutes to play as we sort out all the paperwork. Both teams might take this opportunity as well for a little hydration break. Referee content to let them do so. So we're going to take a couple of minutes here to just catch our breath. And yeah, interesting time for a pseudo timeout as head coach Steve Arce will have to adjust some things down to just 10 men here, Rob.
Yeah, it looked like OCFC 2 was doing pretty well and had their front foot forward. When they were up 3-1, they concede a goal, and then now they're down a man. So being in a position of power gets a little bit thinner here. I'm not quite sure. I think that takes a little bit of the spice out of the game, unfortunately, because if I'm going to jump to conclusions, I would guess Steve Arce is going to play a little less aggressively and not play with 2 forwards as he was. We were doing a bit of a 4-4-2, County 2 was, and that's probably going to change quite a bit. It's probably going to be a 4-5. Maybe a 1 in top, too.
The good thing is it wasn't a defender who was sent off, so you've still got the 4 at the back who've played well so far, despite letting in a couple of goals. As far as open play, it really hasn't been many moments where those guys have been worried or troubled. So we'll see what happens here. It'll be curious to see how the Lions react as well, what it does to their tactics. Mentioned it a couple of times, and it was evident in the first half, not quite as much here in the second half, but they like to play quickly, and this will certainly suit them in that regard as well.
And if this little break actually helps them as well, because they can change their tactics to know that they've got a man up and they could really push their own agenda now. And the sun's gone down a little bit, so the field's probably not hot anymore, and maybe that'll give a little bit of energy to them as well. So I think that County 2 has a little bit of a storm to weather to maintain this lead moving forward.
Yeah, having scored the first goal coming out of the halftime break and going up 3-1, thought maybe this would be smooth sailing, but it has been anything but ever since that moment. Back underway here. Creeping toward the 68th minute. Turnover.
Dangerous times for County, too.
Numbers for the Lions. Taken outside. Nicholson back inside. Tapped in. Tie game.
Big number 23, John Nino, getting on the score sheet, tying it up here. You said there was at least a goal apiece each, and the visitors have had their share. And can County handle the adversity of losing a 3-1 lead and then going a man down and challenge ahead for the Young Guns of County?
You go down to 10 men. What you cannot do is turn the ball over, trying to play out of the back, and that's exactly what happened there. John Nino stepping in, finding his teammates on that far side, Luke Nicholson, continuing his run, Nino, and Nicholson, all he had to do was put it into the 6, and all Nino had to do was make contact. 3-3. Eventful night.
No doubt. These teams definitely a brewing rivalry, playing each other in back-to-back match days. And no shortage of action. We saw a plethora of cards in the first game. What was it, a 2-1 road victory for County? And then here we've seen 6 goals in 70 minutes and a fair handful of cards here now in the second half, and then culminating in a red.
And there was a red card, as I think about it, there was a red card for County last weekend as well. Another attack here for the Lions. Ubedi way out of his net, and now he's really in trouble, and there's 4.
And it has been turned right around. Holy smokes, County 2, more than a little bit of a wobble here in the second half.
Yeah, this is remarkable, the way that things have changed in just a matter of a few minutes. County down to 10 men, and all of a sudden down 4-3.
You want an adversity, you want a teaching moment.
Here it is, yeah. I mean, and that's partially what happens at this level. Again, it's a lot of guys still learning the game and figuring out their role in a team. So these are big learning moments. Even if current state of affairs isn't going your way, doesn't mean you can't still dig deep and prove something to the coaching staff and to yourself. At a certain point, that pride really comes out, and you see those guys who say enough is enough. We're not going to let this happen. Christian Wilson's been that man many times tonight, but County reeling right now after the last 10 minutes or so have flipped this game on its head.
Steve Arce has 2 players ready to check in at the next break, but got to stop the leaks at the back here. Definitely a one-way action here, all in favor of those in the white shirts.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's not fun for County. They're doing a lot of defending and playing down a man, but here is a rare 4A forward. It's Tripin in for Arce. That ball skips away from him, though, but a turnover back to County, and a good decision to recycle to Wilson, who finds Tripin. Takes a dribble at a couple of defenders inside, popped up. Good thinking, but
not the execution, though.
Tough skill to pull off there. Back the other way. Sal Thompson has been a menace tonight.
No doubt about that. He's been doing a little bit of the dark arts, but also doing the business. Scoring goals, setting things up, getting in the mix of everything out there.
Another yellow here. I think that's Diego Arce. Gonna get that one. Substitution time. Again, reminder, players can come in and out in MWPL. College substitution rules.
If you
we
get
gotta-
subbed out in the first half and come back in the second.
Once you're subbed out in the second, though, your night is done. So a couple of guys here who we did see in the first half coming back in.
JP Yatuma, one of the pair to enter.
I believe Chimenti as well.
17, that's right.
He played well in tight spaces a couple of times. Good on the ball in midfield. Sometimes, Rob, when things go so poorly, you just got to reset and say, all right, forget the scoreboard. Let's do the little things right. Let's get back to the basics.
Yeah, you have to. The guests scored 3 unanswered goals after County 2 went up 3-1. It's really been a remarkable 20 minutes or so here. Yeah, Telly, you have to wipe the slate. Tough call there.
Buslaw there. He's played right on the edge. He hasn't been carded yet, but he's been in a couple of situations with a lot of contact.
Tight scrapes, for sure. I want to see some more from number 20, Diego Arce. He hasn't really had a part to play just yet.
No,
He's had a lot of minutes out there, but
it's been a tough second half for a lot of the guys wearing purple. But at the same time, Rob, just one goal away from things being all even.
well, that's
And
a tough. That's a tough one to handle for the keeper.
He did it coolly, though. Well done there. Quick turnover for County.
Oh, nice turn.
Another good turn. He's done that 3 times now. Wilson, though, cuts it out. Gets it back. Can't chase it down. Let's see who that number 9 is. Yes, it's Adrian Shaya. He loves that spin move. He's done it 3 times, and it's worked all 3.
Got to adjust as a defender. Arce steps in there, but trickles away from the County player for a moment and dribbling through some traffic, and County can break free.
Yeah, good job to escort that ball rather than trying to find a pass. Sometimes it's just dribbling out of those dangerous moments. And I would expect MDA to allow County to pass things across the back as they did there. As long as they don't get across midfield, that's when you'll see the pressure start to come in from the Lions. Wilson's looking for a long ball, but his pass is intercepted. This one might be trouble. Ubedi has to come out and play it. Well done to find a teammate. Well done to keep it. Here's Marinko. Marinko muscled off it that time. Gatkowitz is going to chase that one down. My goodness.
That's some unnecessary contact. Another card distributed.
I think it's safe to say some of these players know each other from previous engagements because
Is there some vendettas being
some of the tackles that we've seen over the past 2 games with these two have been. I mean,
extracurricular for sure.
A game with rain always kind of lends itself to that. Everybody's slipping and sliding around, and even if there's not that much contact, it can look like it's a lot more. But today, there's been some big boy shoulder into back challenges.
And we saw a red card.
Saw the red card for a completely unnecessary play. Malicious or not, it was just
a kick out that was, I think embellished, but definitely punished to the fullest.
Christian Wilson, front man here. Interesting. He's got the energy.
Mueller at
Mueller
the back
over
covering
his
for him.
head. Attacking player all over him, and he does get that whistle. Ubedi's going to look to take it quickly. Does so. Piacentini, long ball. Christian Wilson is playing forward currently, so definitely mixing things up. So we're nearing just about 10 minutes plus stoppage to play. County chasing a goal, down 4-3, down to 10 men, and in danger of seeing their 2-0 start to the season go to 2-1.
Yeah, 3 straight goals conceded after going 3-1 up, and that red card, definitely the play of the game at this moment, really turned this game on its head.
And, a little tangling up there. Busla wanted a foul called that was not given. I like to see the fight. You just don't like to see when it spills over into reckless play and not really in the spirit of the game. But these guys care, and they are out to prove a point. It's been fun to watch these two games, these two teams matching up back-to-back like this. Interesting wrinkle in the schedule. But it'll be fun to see some other teams in the MWPL and see how County stacks up against those other sides across the state of Michigan and Toledo Villa, as you mentioned. Hyper local, I like that. It is really fun to have these local derbies with clubs right on top of each other, territories butting up against each other and overlapping each other, guys who have played with and against each other through youth setups and into college and now summer seasons. Busla takes another clattering. He's staying down this time. Might have a little bit of a dead leg, I think, Rob, in that instance. He hit a knee just into his quad and kind of got a stinging sensation. That's what it looks like.
This Midwest Premier League side, County 2, returned to action on the 5th, away at the Michigan Jaguars, playing out in Clarenceville now. And then the next home game for the Midwest Premier League team, home versus the Legends on June 11th.
Ball popped straight up into the air and controlled by MDA as things trickle down here inside. 9 minutes left to play. That ball's floated in. Great job to intervene. That was Piacentini again.
He's
Tall
had a
number
solid
26. He has indeed. Busla gets ahead to it. That allows teammate to clear. Wilson up top now.
I don't think anyone will be proud to see that 10 minutes or so back where the tables turned, but outside of that, County 2 solid, but things really got away from this team there in that 10-15 minute period following MDA's second goal and the subsequent red card for those in purple.
We see it often in this game, and it's why we love it. But things can change so quickly. Here's Wilson chasing one in behind. Is he going to get there? Yes, he will keep it in. He's able to turn it back, look for a teammate. And now the overlapping run as there's a football tackle in the box. Somebody's looking for a chance. Arce with it at his feet. He gets it back and has to retreat. Whipped ball in.
Good touch.
Good touch indeed. Control there. Just inside the box. Back to Marinko. And a turnover. Ubedi. Maurice Muller, who's now playing center back after playing most of the game up in central midfield. He looks more like a center back with his height. Don't often see a lot of guys that tall who can run around in the midfield the way that Muller can. So more substitutions. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, it looks like 3 white shirts about to check in for the visitors. Number 11 marching off the field amongst those outgoing. That's Luciano Thompson on the way out. We'll see number 18 for County checking back in. That's Olin Klump. He looked pretty solid in his minutes earlier in the game.
Diego Arce, the one coming out.
Yeah, he's played most of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely can understand why he was getting subbed out.
Yeah, frustrating day for him for sure. Even when County were enjoying possession and things were going their way, didn't get as involved as we're used to seeing.
Will Lanham amongst the incoming subs for the visitors down here on this right-hand attacking side.
Another throw into MDA, and they'll be content to take these in their time.
Dylan Sosa Sanchez, number 14 in the game as well now.
And keep away in the corner.
That's number 19, Ryan Clark. He's been in the game for a little while. We haven't shouted him out just yet.
Running out of time here, just about 5.5 minutes plus stoppage for County to claw one back and salvage at least 1 point. Turnover, another chance here for MDA. Good block as Muller is there just in the nick of time to break up that chance for Lanham.
Yeah, Lanham found himself in a really good position, just not able to get that shot off quick enough before the swarm of purple shirts got in the way between him and the goal.
Lanham into a teammate. Ooh, dangerous deflection. County got a bit lucky on that one. Could have gone anywhere. Ubedi on the dive for the initial shot, and as it was deflected in a different direction, thankfully, just above the crossbar. Another corner for MDA. They've had quite a few, and it's been Luke Nicholson pulling the strings. Here he is again. Good service, dangerous area, and there's number 5.
I think that's big number 19, Ryan Clark, getting on the end of that, and County defense didn't take care of it well enough and tucked away for the 5th goal for the visitors. Wow, what a turnaround. Continues to a goal the wrong way for County too.
What a turnaround indeed. And Rob, we came into this second half with a 2-1 lead, and things have changed here in this second half. Instead, we now have a 3-5 deficit.
It's looking more and more like this doubleheader is going to be a split. The first ever Oakland County FC doubleheader, at least of this new era, and a resounding victory in the opening game of the USL 2 match. Oakland County FC getting the 4-1 win over AFC Ann Arbor in the USL 2 league match that kicked off at 3 o'clock. But about halfway through it, this one was looking good too, but it's gone the other way. Quick, sharp turn to the wrong direction here.
Well,
but there's more games to go, and I don't know if anyone's going to run away undefeated with this league, so I don't think, hopefully, Steve Arce's men here and these young guns of County 2 don't take it too much to heart, but definitely a lesson learned of not taking your eye off the prize and trying to avoid red cards when they're not necessary.
A regrettable decision, particularly considering the way that it was handed out. It just was an unnecessary play that didn't need to be made, and that has really made the mountain too steep to climb here for County this evening. Whipped ball in. Wilson gets his head on it.
The momentum was already shifting in favor of the visitors, and that just like put some gasoline on the fire of the scales.
Absolutely, and this 4-goal second half, or 5 goals total, but 4 for the visiting MDA Lions, sees them with a 5-3 lead. That just 45 minutes ago would have seemed very unlikely.
For those in the audience saying that there's no goals in soccer, I say, au contraire, tune into a County game. But here's Nick Wilson.
Here's Wilson. Good centering pass, just nobody there. Again, 10 men on the pitch, so County lacking in numbers, maybe lacking in energy as this game winds down. You see there, in fact, after making that play, I think it was Piacentini maybe who's down on that far side with a bit of cramp.
Good sportsmanship from Clark to help him out there, because actually thought that they had gotten tangled up and we were going to start kind of scrapping with each other, but he just went down with a cramp. It wasn't any afters that it looked like at first. Because 19 hit the deck pretty hard there, did Clark, and then Piacentini fell over after. I thought there was something untoward, but quite the opposite.
All that's left to do here, Rob, really is just blow the full-time whistle. I think both teams are about ready to get on out of here.
Yeah, we're into the 90th minute now, so it shouldn't be too long.
Taking it to the corner and earning a throw that they will take short. Just try to hold that up in the corner. I thought he had signaled for a County throw. Sure did. Offside. Even better. Deep one here, attempted switch. Christian Wilson up top has been an interesting wrinkle here in these last 10-ish minutes.
I'm not 100% sure if it's worked. There hasn't been a lot of chances for County since it's happened, but I think it's a bit of a need of a bit of a necessity.
It seemed like a why not, you know, what else do we have to lose sort of thing. Throw him up there. And
that looked like equal grabbing there, but it goes against the offensively minded Christian Wilson.
Too handsy.
But they were both grabbing each other. But the clock frozen at 90 minutes here, and we're in the stoppage time of this doubleheader, the second leg here.
If you're Steve Arce, Rob, what do you say to the boys after a tough one here in the second half as things just sort of unraveled?
I think you got to keep it as simple as possible to just say forget about it. We had a bit of a nightmare 15, 20 minutes. Definitely a nightmare of a second half. That's the example of how not to play, especially when you come into a half in the lead. But Coach Arce, probably as simple as possible, don't get silly red cards. Because things were already going against them, as, you know, during a 90-minute game will happen in periods, but it's how you react to them. And getting that red card really put his teammates in a hard place, and it's been downhill since then. But they still started the season 2 wins and plenty more games to go, and it's early in the season here still.
If we had to pick a man of the match, any particular individual performer stand out for you today?
For County, I would have to say Piacentini. He's been really solid. I can't recall where he was located in that onslaught of goals that went against him, but in the general run of play, he's been very consistent and solid.
It's tough to applaud the defenders in a game where they've given up 5 goals. But
yeah.
It was a weird one where it didn't feel like the back line on the whole of it played that poorly.
had things gone differently, you could maybe pick out some other players. I mean, there was some bright spots from Tripon, there was bright spots from Gibbs, but the red card kind of tarnishes all that. And then Klump was good. Marinko, he had some nice touches in the middle.
I guess
but it's pretty difficult to name one, to be honest, Mitch.
we are well into stoppage time. Could be any moment here, really just up to the referee, and MDA looking to take this free kick. Could be the last knock of the game, and let's end it here, Rob, and just say let's not let this game ruin what was an excellent afternoon as the USL 2 side moved to 4-0 on the season.
Yeah, we have a chance to get excited about a 4-0 Oakland County FC heading into next week as Lansing City come to visit for our next Sports Engine play game.
And they'll be looking for some revenge after giving up that late 93rd minute winner from Colin Arce on Thursday night. So expect Lansing to come in looking to get those 3 points back.
And this County 2 side will have to sow their oats on the road. A couple road games coming up for them here. Jags, the next one up. Plenty more opportunity to get back in the W column. Hopefully, Arce and these players can put this second half firmly in the forget me folder.
The delete folder.
Yeah. The memory hole, as they say. Some good footwork there by Marinko. I'm curious to see him develop, as he definitely looks tidy on the ball.
I like what he's done in midfield.
But he was sleeping there a little bit and doesn't get punished for it, but go ahead.
I like what he's done in midfield. I would love to see him in a system where there's another holding mid alongside him, similar to what we see with Colin Arce and Adam McAleenan. Instead of the two up top that we've seen here today, kind of just changes his positioning and obviously his role, what he's expected to do. We're looking for a game ball here. I think maybe the final whistle could probably just blow, but a few seconds here to play out.
Referee has a look at his watch. Another look. Got the whistle in his mouth.
And that'll do it. I've always wondered about that. The game can't end until that throw comes in.
I guess not.
MDA Lions come into Royal Oak High School Stadium and ruin the doubleheader Sunday, or at least partially ruin the second half of it. 5-3 with a very eventful second half that saw them overcome a 2-1 deficit. County has a man sent off, finished the game with just 10 players. Bit of a rough finish, Rob, but give us some closing thoughts here on the day as a whole.
Like I said earlier, very exciting times for the USL 2 team going into next week. 4-0 at the top of the table in the USL Great Lakes Division. Here, the Midwest Premier League kind of is blown wide open. County 2 no longer undefeated. Coach Arce and these players will want to tuck this one far away into the forget-me-nows and forget this, that they came into this second half up 2-1, and it turns around 5-3. Put this in the past and to get a couple wins on the road and get back on track here in the Midwest Premier League.
Rob, thanks so much for letting me hop into the big chair here. Appreciate everyone for tuning in to this special presentation of Oakland County Football Club. This game in the Midwest Premier League level. We are back with you next weekend for that matchup that we talked about against Lansing. It'll be the USL 2 side looking to go to 5-0. That's going to do it for us here today. Rob, I'll let you sign us off.
All right, everybody, take care, be safe, be brave, bleed purple, and everyone enjoy your soccer.